Happy Sunday, Stampers and Paper Crafters. This is Facebook Live number 506. It is Sunday, August 2nd, 2026. My name is Joy Borwedge, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in Burnsville, Minnesota, and I have been a demonstrator since August of 1999. I believe my anniversary date is the 11th. 27 years, guys. That's a lot. Yeah, a lot. I'm going to put you down at the table in just a second. If you get motion sickness or anything like that, just look away, and I'll let you know when I'm done messing around with the camera. So hold on. So hopefully you have had a good weekend. Whoa, I almost tipped it over. There we go. So 506 videos. All right, there we go. We are turning it down to the table, tightening it up a little bit. I have met some of the coolest people because of stamps, inks, and paper. And most of them happen to be demonstrators, but I have made some really, I think we're good. Okay, turn some light on the subject. Sit straight. Carolyn. All right, where is it? Okay, I think, okay. I think I can always change this, and then then I'm not changing the camera. Okay, so again, my name is Joy Borwedge. I have an Instagram page at Stampin' for Joy. My YouTube page is Joy A. Borwedge. My online store is stampinforjoy.stampinup.net. PenguinZ33@outlook.com is my email address, so that if you do not have a demonstrator that you're working with or this catalog, I'd be happy to send you one. And then also I do have a Facebook page, Stampin' for Joy. Now this catalog, I should bring this in, is actually coming to an end at the end of August. So Stampin' Up! Started this new program, so then that way they're only releasing, hi Carolyn, how you doing? It's nice to see you. So then that way what they're doing is they combined the annual catalog with the mini catalogs. So the next catalog that's coming, I have gotten a preview of it. I'm excited. But however, my customers are not going to get theirs mailed to them. I was having computer issues, and by the time I was able to log on, it was 1 o'clock in the morning, and I could not pick. I tried, and it wasn't available for me to do that. So if you are a customer of mine, I am really sorry that you're not going to get a catalog mailed to you. So hopefully I will be able to get some and mail some out. Hi Judy, I see you. So another place that you could purchase products is in the online store. And let's see, July happens to be the last release, and the next release is coming up in September. So that is a great way to see new products for Stampin' Up! To introduce you to new products every other month, and then that way they don't have to spend 2 years getting a catalog ready. So Stampin' Up! Puts products in the online store, and they're while supplies lasts, and then the can't call it annual anymore, and it's so much in my vocabulary. So the catalog, this one here, hi Tina, welcome. So this catalog, like I said, it's going to live, it's going to retire at the end of August. So I'm excited to share with you when that new catalog comes up, because there's going to be a lot of cool products. Now, we have the Stampin' event that's coming up, and we have chosen a date, and the church is available. So I am going to reveal that date to you, if you have not seen it online. And let's see, let's not use black. How about blue? Blue's pretty. So that is going to be Saturday, October 17th. And that is our next in-person event. So what that means is that you need to save that date so that you can come and hang with us, because we are going to be featuring the September catalog and the online exclusives. Now this one, let's see, let's pick a different color. How about blue? Let's do blue. That date, I think it's the 24th. I dropped my pen. So this is going to be a week after. And so let's just make it real. Let's see, how can we, Saturday, you can come to the online exclusive, or you can come to the virtual one. That'll be fun, and that is the 24th. TH. All right, so now we have those dates. So this is for the virtual event, and this is for I'm going to have to fool around with those and get those going. So then that way they'll work and stay and, all the things. Okay, so that's kind of some new fun coming up, something to look forward to. And like I said, you'll be able to try out some of the new product coming up in the new September catalog. And I can't wait to see everyone, either virtually or physically. All right, so then also something new. This is the August product of the month. And we will have Designer Series paper. And it is a pack. They are 12 by 12. And so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you have 2 of each. I'm wondering if it's one-sided or if it's 1, 2, and then 3, and then 4 of each sheet. I'm not sure about that. I guess I'll have to look into it. I only printed the one flyer. I guess I should have printed the other one as well, I guess. Sorry about that. This is only going to be for $5, and we don't know how long it will last. I know that June, they ran out of product of the month, which was a really seriously cute stamp set. And then the designer series, the stamp set from July, I think it's still around. If you have not yet purchased it, as long as it's available, you can opt to have that if you don't already have it. So you're only allowed one of the product of the months. Then, just to give you guys a heads up, there's going to be a sale. Select Designer Series paper and cardstock is going to be 15% off August 4th through the 30th. Now, this is a great time to stock up on Designer Series paper and selected cardstock. So I don't know if that's going to be two-tone cardstock or, whatever Stampin' Up! Is putting on sale tends to run out pretty quickly. So if there's something on your wish list and it's 15% off, I'd say get it. And then log in. Set your alarm clock for really early. And be like me and get up really early, like at midnight. Just kidding. Last chance products will probably be updated, I think, on Tuesday. So while supplies last, again, on this list, things also have a discount. And so check that out. And let's see, you have a few more days left because, you know, it is August 2nd. So you have 8 more days left to sign up for your Paper Pumpkin subscription. So if you sign up for the pay-as-you-go subscription by August 10th, your first Paper Pumpkin will receive a 25% discount. And then the rest of them will be normal price. So subscribe today, and it's like happiness surprise in a mail box. In a mailbox. Well, it depends on, you know, I guess mine is it's a box. I live in an apartment, so the mail comes in a little tiny thing with the door. So I guess it's a box for me. All right, check that out. And then don't forget that Stampin' Up! Has that new Metallic Magic foil system. And you can save up your Stampin' Rewards and apply that to your system. Now, you have to have the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. If you have a black, a Big Shot, the previous Stampin' Up! One, it will not work. It's too small. So take a look at that. It's like a lot of fun to play with. I haven't had a chance to see it in person, but I have watched many videos about it, and it's like awesome. Okay, so we are done talking. I had a lot of fun yesterday. That was Saturday. My friend came over, and she bought some kits from me. Thanks, Carolyn. And I forgot to show you the kit selection from the in-person event. And that was sitting down on the floor, kind of hiding behind my cardstock box. So I'm really sorry about that. But anyways, it was great seeing her, and we got a chance to talk. And I was kind of cleaning up my kits. So I got a lot of cards made, and I didn't have to design them because I had already taken care of that. And these were past virtual events and past in-person events. So I just put a whole bunch of stuff together, and it was fun just to not have to sit there and think about anything. All right, today's is going to feature Delicate Whispers Bundle and the Words of Beauty stamp set. And let's see. Also the Designer Series paper from the Delicate Whispers. Well, actually, it's called the Delicate Dreams Sweet Collection. But let's see, we'll be using the Banner Punch and the natural matte dots that come from this suite. The Designer Series paper is absolutely stunning. I just had to take a drink. Let's see here. Where is my paper sampler? Okay, so here is just kind of what the Delicate Dreams does for you, and also the Designer Series paper. I kind of like to do these what I call inspiration sheets because I actually awesome. So this is what I like to do, is because I want to see, you know, what dies cut out, what they look like, and then the separate dies. And so, and how many you get of each, and then here's all the greetings that come in. And I love the fact that Stampin' Up! Had these two dies that you stamp them, they cut them out. But they also cut out the Designer Series paper, and I love it when Stampin' Up! Does that. And then here is the Designer Series paper, just a kind of a little, again, it's a sheet that I look at, and sometimes I look at the colors on the Designer Series paper and pick something out that I haven't used for a while. Now, I use actually a lot of these colors, so I might sit there and say, well, I want to use Gray Granite today, so what cards could I make out of this Designer Series paper? And another thing is that if you're looking for colors to work out, open up the catalog and look at the Designer Series paper, because Stampin' Up! Tells you what looks good just by their Designer Series paper. So I also use the embellishments too. So even though I don't have this Water Retreat, it works with Gray Granite, Misty Moonlight, Old Olive, Pecan Pie, Pool Party, and Very Vanilla. Now, kind of with the Gray Granite and the Misty Moonlight, Old Olive, and Pecan Pie, I would have not really thought about Pool Party in there. So look at the Designer Series paper, see what colors they put together on maybe something that you don't own, and pick a color out of there and then go play with it. That gets me out of that box. You know, the 5 colors that you're constantly using. It helps. I mean, I own all the ink pads in their colors, and I own all the cardstock. So for me, it's easy to kind of mix and match. All right, so another thing I forgot to mention is the ribbon that comes in this suite. And this is, it's very soft and it's easy to make bows. And it is called Gray Granite. You know, nothing special about that, but it's a really cool ribbon. And it's called Variegated Trim. And I think the outside edge kind of has like a little darker or a little lighter color. So it's not white, because I think that would be very stark. So I think that I love it. Okay, let's get the dimensions for you. So I made a little bow, and we'll put that off to the side so I don't lose it. All right, so I have a piece of Designer Series paper, and this is 1 5/8 by 5. A piece of crumb cake, and this is actually a piece of scrap that was in my scrap bin. And this is 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. Actually, I had to chop a little bit off of it, but you know what? It was in my scrap bin. I didn't have to get out a whole new piece of crumb cake and cut it down. This is pecan pie, so this is 1 1/2 by 2. I have I love this foil. I hope it stays around because it's going to be so much fun with the sunflower suite that's coming up. And this is the Earth Tone Specialty Foil. And I have a scrap piece of paper that we're going to be using. And we're going to be using the Designer Series paper, and we're going to use the dies. And then we have a piece of Mossy Meadow, which is 1 3/4 by 3. Another piece of Pecan Pie, which is 1 3/4 by 3. And I like to do this so that everybody gets a chance to get their measurements, and they can come back, rewatch it, pause it, get their stuff cut, and then play along with me. And this is 2 pieces of basic white. It is 2 3/4 by 4. And I will split that. Another piece of crumb cake, which is 3 4 1/4. And this is a piece of basic white. It is 3 3/4 by 5. And a piece of crumb cake by 4 5 1/4. And then a piece of Hydrangea Hue. And this is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. And it's basically a half sheet of cardstock. And then we're going to score it. And all right, so I think we got all the measure. I'm going to move this. No, I can't move this. I was going to move it over that way by accident. And there's not enough. Let me see if I can. That's good, right? I think you're good. Okay, so that way, this card layout, I saw the idea from Karen Titus. She's a demonstrator in Minnesota, and she was actually probably one of the first demonstrators I ever started to follow. And I took the idea and boy did I run with it. So I don't do simple very well, and so if you want to see something simple, design your card like hers. If you want to be a little bit more avid creator, you can follow mine. So I'm sorry. All right, I'm gonna take a drink, but whoever's gonna win this card's gonna absolutely love it. All right. I am drinking hibiscus lemonade. It is quite warm outside. Not as bad as it has been, but I stayed inside and played. All right, so I think we're done. I'm going to leave that one on because we're going to score it. And I really like the crafting community because you see something, you like it, you create something with it, and you share it. And then somebody else sees that, and they create something, and then they share it. And just think of how many happy people receive Happy Mail because, somebody makes something, and then you see it, and then you create it, and it's like, wow. Okay, so we're going to do a lot of die cutting with this particular stamp set. I like to, so the Glass Mat Studio comes with this plastic, silicone. It's not plastic, silicone rubber. You can put your water in there and you can mix paints, you can do reinkers, you can, do a lot of technique with it. Me, I hold my magnet sheet on it and then I die cut. Do a lot of die cutting. And so at my cutting station, my stand-up one, I have a magnet sheet that sits there as well. So when I'm die cutting either here at my stamping desk or my stand-up station, then I will not lose my dies unless I drop them on the floor. And then I take my Stamparatus magnets and then swipe them on the floor until I find that little puppy. It might take a little while. I have actually taken the recycling bin that all my scraps go into. I have a paper bag next to my desk, and I have literally taken pieces out of there with my Stamparatus magnets, and I have literally searched for dies that were stuck in cardstock, and I never found it there. You will never guess where I found it. On the back side of a Post-it note. And now that Stampin' Up! Has these magnets, you can see if it picks it up. No, it actually, where did it stick? I had one that stuck. See, it stuck. And so when you get these, you're going to have to maybe pay attention to your stamp cases when they all turn magnetic, because that's going to happen. It's going to be an issue. Okay, so now that I got all I do that so that I don't accidentally grab something and then, stamp on it when I was supposed to die cut it. Okay, so let's see here. I'm just going to kind of organize my thoughts, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to attach that because I can. And that's one thing that I can actually do and not get one thing out of the way. Okay. And I'm just going to use my Stampin' Seal. I was going to use this side, but then once I turned it on this side, I was like, oh my gosh, look at how pretty that is. I love the Secrecy. So pretty with crumb cake. Love it. Okay, so that one's done. And then I'm just going to move that over to the side. and I'm going to grab my Simply Score tool. Now that is my favorite way to score, and when I do a lot of scoring, it helps me move along quickly. Okay, so then we need to score at 4 1/4, and then mine busted, and because I literally did too much, it moved. Whew, boy. Too much pressure, and I bent it. So I now put my middle finger kind of on where the tip is, okay? And then I put it low as I can so that it doesn't jump track. Because when you go like this, you have a better tendency to switch tracks, and I don't want to do that. And then I'm also going to do 2 1/8. So it's the next little knobby right after the 2. Now I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to do the same thing. So then we're going to fold this in half, and then we're going to fold this back. And so now we have our fold. Now this is a fold that, people recognize. We're just going to do something different with it. So we're going to grab the bone folder, and we're going to just burnish that really nice on both sides, and then we're going to do the same thing with this one. We're just going to burnish that, not burn it. All right, nice crease. Okay, so then this will sit nicely. Okay, so then we are going to put that away, and I'm wondering if we should do, I can stamp, trying to figure out, because when I designed this card, I don't necessarily follow the same path when I'm designing a card as when I do it on a Facebook Live. And so I'm like, okay, which part do I do now? Which seems, what's the word? Like strategic, I guess. Okay, so then we're going to stamp our greeting, and I'm going to grab my Stampin' Pearson mat, and I have a piece of copy paper on it, so then I can ink over. Let's see, we got a lot of things that we can, let's see. This is going to be a friend card, and the front is going to say hello friend, and that is going to be in Pecan Pie. And we're going to do a little bit of coloring today. And so Pecan Pie. And we'll just tap, tap, tap. We're not killing spiders, no squishing. And there we go. That turned out, I think that turned out nice. Yep. Okay, so then we are going to close this up for a second and grab our banner punch, and we are going to punch this out the closest that way to the left, and then so I wanted to keep this part of the to hold it so that I can guide it, and then we're actually going to snip that little bit right to the edge, and it doesn't really matter if it's perfectly straight or not, because this is a handmade card and we're done with that piece right now. Okay, now the next piece, we're going to actually stamp with crumb cake. And that is going to be with these little fluffy things. They kind of remind me of this grass that you see, because I live in Minnesota, and we have this type of grass that has like this little fluffy white stuff on the top. Now, I did not have that in my yard. I wish I did, but I did not. And so that was crumb cake. And I'm just going to take my Simply Chamois, and I'm just going to clean that off. Squeak, squeak. Squeak, squeak. All right. And I like to cut mine into 4s, so then that way I can have it hang out at my stations when I'm doing a stamp camp at my house, or not house, apartment. And then I can change that up. All right, so that is ready to go. And I'm going to put this on. We're not going to stamp anything else on the front of this. And so I'm going to put this on the crumb cake. And like I said, we need 2 of these. And that is going to give it a nice border all the way around. Okay, I'm going to put that over there because we're done with that for now. And then let's... Hi, Barb. Welcome. How you doing? Okay, so then we're going to take this one and we're going to stamp in Mossy Meadow. And we're going to do it in... Now this one looks like it's green, but it is not. I mean, tap, tap. And that is going to go just like that, right in there. And then we're going to clean that up. Oh, man. Nope, nope, nope. We're going to flip this one over because I forgot I should have stamped my greeting down at the bottom first. And that is going to be, I'm moving this so I don't accidentally stamp it in the wrong color. Okay, you've been on my mind, and we're going to put this directly at the bottom, just like that, in Secret C. And now we're going to close that up. And then we're going to do that green leafy thing. I was like, as soon as I set that down, I'm like going, no. All right. And I'm going to lay this down so I could see this better, so I know where to position this. There we go. So I'm not hitting my greeting. All right. So then now I'm going to close this up, and we are going to clean off the 2 that we just got done using. I kind of like to keep my ink off my photopolymer, because as you can see, it changes the color. And some, you know, color it, and some, you know, come right off. So it depends on, I guess, the chemical reaction. Okay, and then, oh, you know what? I forgot a strip of cardstock. And let's get one out. I can show you how I do this. This is my Delicate Dreams Designer Series paper. Came out Ooh, 102? Ew. It was 85 today here, so that has been cooler than what it's been. I'm sorry. You can come up and hang out with Minnesotans for a little while. Okay, so on the back side is my anything that I have broken into. And then also for this particular pack, we know the dies cut out some of the designer series paper. So these are pieces that I have cut out, and then I didn't die cut them, but I cut them out. So then that way I had a virtual Stampin' event, and that was part of my, we don't stamp images. So this was part of my kit. So I cut out all those things. And so this is the paper that I have left over, and they're the smaller bits, so I put them in a baggie and then I stick them in the back side of here. And so the first thing I do is go here and check to see if there is something that there it is, there's a piece. And so I am going to go and cut a 1/4 inch. Maybe a 1/2 inch. Because sorry about that. I actually I already had that piece in my sample card, so I forgot to check through here. I didn't have any left, so I had to cut one off. So then this is how, and also I take a Sharpie and put the names of the colors because it gets covered up. And that is something that I do to every single pack of designer series paper, because yeah, the specialty, a lot of it has a sticker, but it's so tiny. And then this I put in a shelf, and then I just see that, and then that way I know what that is. Okay, so now I have this piece, and so we're going to grab the silicone craft sheet, and we're just going to add that right there. And so I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive, and I'm just going to lay that down and align that up. And a lot of the times, oops, I have a glue booger. I will get that. All right. I agree with you, Carolyn. And when hot flashes come, holy crap, I want to just stand outside in the winter time and melt a snowbank. They think I'm weird at work. I'm cold, and then I get a hot flash, and then I'm cold, and then I get a hot flash. I mean, I literally wear a sweatshirt at work, and then until I start moving around, then I'm fine. But yeah. Okay, we're just going to snip that off. All right, put that right there. And I shouldn't have put that, I should not have put that on there. I'm trusting myself that I'm not going to make a mess when I stamp. All right, so seeing as how we're doing that, might as well just get, we're going to do the pecan pie, and we're going to use this bunch of little flowers, and we're going to stamp off. This one really is not very high off, so it collects the ink, and it's, see the color, that's not as dark as I wanted it, but I didn't want to have that on crumb cake because it's going to be backed on crumb cake. So I wanted a different color. And all right, so then we're going to clean that off. Squeak, squeak. All right. I mean, we're using a lot of the stuff from this suite, and I'm also doing a lot of backing. I normally don't do that. A lot of layers for like the inside of the card. That's just not something I do, and I'm like, oh, I kind of like that. Okay, we're going to actually color a couple things, and I did not swatch them just because the colors are, I'm going to be using the nib tips for the most part. So because the items are like really small, but if you noticed, I did not, let's see, so nib tips, I got Mossy Meadow, Hydrangea Hue, and Secret Sea. I didn't use black, and I like to, we're going to color. Now, if you guys see something, somebody has a question, answer it, because there's like several people that are in the know in this chat today, and I welcome you guys. Thank you for coming. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is, let's see, what color? We're going to use the small nib, ooh, sticky. I got a little glue booger down here, and my finger keeps hitting it, and it's sticking to me, and I don't like it. No sticky. Our glue, you know, the green glue, that stuff is just, when it gets on your fingers, it doesn't come off well, and I don't like it. It bugs me a lot. Okay, so let's start with the little guy. Like I said, we don't have a lot of space to deal with, so I'm just making lines. And this is the light Hydrangea Hue, and normally I don't do this much stuff, but I just kept going and going, and I liked it, and I'm like going, this is cool. Okay, so then with that, we're going to take the Secret Sea, and we're just going to dot the center. And then light Mossy Meadow. I did not use any black in this card design, which is weird for me. All right, so then we're gonna, might as well do the next thing on this one. This is gonna be Secret Sea, and this is going to say, I appreciate you. Cool. All right. So this is Secret Sea, and I appreciate you. Isn't that a cute center of your card? Right. That I will close up and wash that ink off my piece. Okay, and put that, I guess, with the rest of the group, and go back to coloring. That one's done. Okay, now we're going to go into this. And again, we're going to use the same color ring. I think we're going to use the dark Hydrangea Hue on this one. And again, we're just making lines. We're not, you could probably just hold it and let it bleed because then it would color it all by itself. But this is on Mossy Meadow ink. It's not really running into each other, I guess. It's okay. And see how the color has lightened up since I just started coloring? And this is the dark hydrangea hue. And like I said, I'm just dotting. Okay, so those are all the flowers on there. And we're done. There's a fuzzy crawling on my desk. And this again is Secret Sea, Light Secret Sea. And I'm just going to put a dot in the center of the flowers. All right, I think I got them all. And with the leaves, I'm just going to do kind of a dark swipe line with the dark Mossy Meadow, and then we'll go back in with the light Mossy Meadow, and then we'll, oops, I missed one. Oh well. I don't know how much of all of this you're going to really see anyways. Some of it's going to be covered up. So that's why I'm not really concerned about, oh no, I colored outside the lines. Nobody's going to notice. Okay. I think I got them all. All right, we are done coloring, and I think we're done stamping everything. Okay, cool. Let's get out the die cut. Stamp and cut and die machine. All right. Okay. All right, let me make sure I'm not stuck on stuff. All right, so we're gonna die cut some Designer Series paper. And just push that up. And I love the fact that when Stampin' Up! Does this, that they give us multiple dies to play with. Now I am using 3 flowers. I already cut one. Just because I didn't want to have to go through and have you guys watch me cut one more. I already took the time to cut it. The 3rd one. And I don't necessarily do all the die cutting before, because I want you to see what it takes to make the card. There might be somebody who's new that has come across my Facebook page or my YouTube page, and I'm sorry, I might scare you. But it turned out pretty, right? Okay, so this is just a leafy green on Mossy Meadow. Here is the little tiny sprigs. There's 3 of them. And then these pieces on the pecan pie. And then these pieces, gotta make sure the cutting side is down. I had them facing up on this one. Like, no, upside down. There we go. And I don't think I'm missing anything. And I think we're good. Let's make sure everybody has enough space. All right, I got a piece of tape on my finger. I don't know why. I'm good. Okay, so we'll just slide that right through. Okay. And then now you just have to untape everything. Now this tape that I use is paper tape by Scotch, and it comes 2 in a pack. And it's very sticky, so you have to kind of use your fingers and, you know, just kind of, you know, lose its stickiness. All right, let's untape that. And I use the tape over and over again until it's done being sticky. And then each die goes back on the magnetic sheet over there. And then that way, depends on how long this goes. Either A, I clean it up, or B, I don't. So then I grab my Take Your Pick tool and move those little things off. Okay. And then this one, it came off a little bit at the end. Oh well. And then we'll just drop that on the glass mat, and it comes out 90% of the time. Flop that over, that goes in the trash. That one just came out nicely. Oops. And it has a little thingy inside, so we'll just use the Take Your Pick tool, my people poker, and just poke that little puppy out. That goes back over there. These little grass pieces. One, two, and I always make sure they're clean before I put them back on my magnetic sheet, so that if I decide to craft with it again, that I don't use something that's stuffed up with paper. Okay, one more piece to go, and then we are done with the die cut. All right. It goes in the trash. And these go back on the magnetic sheet. And I'll grab my Pampered Chef scraper and just scrape the rest of the stuff attached. And I have one of these at my stand-up cutting station. And we are ready to go. Let's just put that through and let that hang out. Okay, so I think we are ready to see if I do this without dropping anything all over the floor. Okay. Oh, there it is. One did land on the floor. And where'd it go? Right there. Okay, so all the little paper pieces. So this piece we're actually good with. So I'm going to try to not get adhesive all over my glass mat studio. And we'll line that right there. And doesn't the little flowers just kind of add to the I appreciate you. I mean, it's so pretty. All right, that goes on the inside of this piece. Okay, there we go. All pretty. And then this one, we are going to put adhesive on here. So we're going to line that up. Oops. So I think we're pretty equal in distance. Smush that over. Okay. So what it does is it flips open. Isn't that cool? And seeing as how we are done stamping on this, we can attach that to the other side, right there. So this is going to flip open, and okay, so then now we're going to finish up with this. And so we're just going to kind of separate the pieces that we need and where they go, so that we have space on here to actually adhere stuff. So I am going to put a little tiny bit of adhesive right there. And we're going to put that, actually, I'm going to wait. Okay. And these go down here. And I have a little tiny leaf and a little tiny flower. That'll go on the inside of the card. This we might as well put on our dimensionals. There's my take your pick. There we go. We'll just stab and grab those backings. And then we're going to put that right there at the bottom. Okay, then we're going to snip. I don't want this piece to kind of curve, so I am just going to snip this off right there. We're going to put that kind of like that, okay, and then get that little piece out of there. Come on, let's go. All right, then I'm going to take this here, that and that, and we're going to grab my Wink of Stella, shake that up, and we're just going to lay the brush down and try all its bits. Okay, that is good. Okay, and then these go down here. All right, so then this one, oh man, my fingernail just snipped off. And so where do I want to go with that? Right there. And then this one. Right right about there. Actually, I want that one up a little bit taller. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to grab a mini glue dot. I'm going to put that right there where those two little pieces meet. Oops, stuck to me. There. And then we're going to grab another mini glue dot, and we're going to grab for our bow, and that's going to go right on top of that. Okay, so that's the front part of our card. All that little shimmer in there. Okay, then we're going to open this up. I'm going to snip that off a little bit so that it doesn't get caught up in there. There we go. And there we go. Okay, and that's going to fold over. And then next, we are going to put this on dimensionals. Actually, we're going to use one because we want to tuck stuff underneath it, so I want to make sure that it has enough space. Stab and grab that backing. And that's going to go like that. And then just going to put a little bit of adhesive on here. Ooh, stick to my finger. Ah. Okay. So it's going to go right there. And then this one. Right there. I'm letting everything be loose so that it has motion and gives it depth. Okay, that one. It's all sticky. That one's going to go right under there. Okay. Okay. And then we're going to take this flower and we're going to put it. Oh, thank you for the heart. We're going to put that in dimensional, 8-dimensional, the little guys, mini dimensionals. Stab and grab that backing. Oops, that one sticks to me. And that one's going to go right there. And then this one, we're going to take a mini glue dot and just roll that up. That's going to go right there. It's not as tall as this one, but it still has that little lift. Okay, then I'm going to take these guys and put a little tiny bit of adhesive on there. All right, that one will go right there. This one right there, and this one coming out of there. Thank you very much, Judy. Glad you like it. Then I'm going to take a little bit of adhesive and put that on the leaf. And then another mini glue dot. I'm going to roll up. Now, this suite is an online exclusives, and it was released in March, and it sold out a lot. So if you like it, I'd get it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put the matte dots. I love these dots. And we're going to grab a blue one, Secret C. All right, come hither. All right, so we're going to put one right down in the corner there. And then we're going to grab, okay, fine. You're going right there. And then you're going right there. So we're creating that triangle. And then we're going to open this up. And then we're going to put one right there and one right there. So we still have that one and created that. Okay, so what's left? Wink of Stella. And then we're just gonna, we'll just stick that in there later. All right. Oh, and let's see here. Wink of Stella. Again, we'll just shake that off and grab the Stampin' Pearson mat. And we color, let's see here. We're going to do our flowers, just the center, and if it hits part of the flower, it's okay. And then we'll just clean that off, and then do this one. I think we're good. I think we got it all. All right. I told you it was a beautiful card. And like I said, I saw the idea. Karen Titus did the flap, and I just took that idea and I ran with it. And hopefully you don't think it's overkill, but it turned out to be very pretty. And if you want to get a chance, something sticky on here. And this Glass Mat Studio comes with this chamois. And I cut mine, again, in 4s. Not that I use my Glass Mat Studio for Stampin' Events, but actually, I use this on my stove in my kitchen because anytime, Nancy, hi Tina, how you doing? It's nice to see you, Nancy. All right, is it dry? But I have had, when you have like a surface that is not steady, this Glass Mat Studio makes any surface a great stamping surface. And so, okay. Oh man, I missed that. I just don't want to set my card down in something. Squeak, squeak. All right. Make sure, because somebody's going to win this card, and I want it to look good when they get it. Not stuck with glue boogers. What is that? Let's sit there and lick it. Okay. So that is my card. So if you want to get a chance to win this card, Okay, all you have to do is a thumbs up or a heart. Okay, if you leave a comment, that gets your name entered into the drawing as well. And if you share this video on your timeline, you get 2 entries. So if you watch this as a replay while it's still live on my Joy Borowicz Facebook page or my Stampin' Facebook page, if you do the lump thumbs up or the likes and the hearts, if you do that, that still gets you entered. Then 30 days later, Facebook Live is going to remove this video. So before that gets removed, I pick the winners. The winner, I should say. And so the more you do the thumbs up or the heart, that I don't, like for each comment, you don't get an entry. Okay, so you can comment 100 times on a video, you still get just 1 entry. So, but it helps you get entered to win, a free card in the mail, and you don't have to buy anything. All right, guys, I think I might be back on Thursday. This past Thursday, I didn't out of work until about 7:15. And by the time I got home, which was around 8 o'clock, I had dinner and then I kind of went to bed. So that's the reason why I did not do a Facebook Live on Thursday. So I don't know what this week's going to be like. So hopefully I will be here on Thursday after 5 o'clock. If not, I might hit you up sometime this weekend. Take care, guys. Have a great week. And thank you for watching.